Previously on My Little Pony. 2 days later, Monday. We still don't have a clear answer about the strange phenomenon that occurred on Saturday afternoon, where several anomalies arose in the central park of Ponyville. The flashes could be seen throughout the city and caused much alarm in the population. The phenomenon also caused the people who were on the outskirts of the park suddenly fainting as soon as they tried to enter, just as it not explained how all electrical equipment stopped working. Although at this point the experts attribute it to an electromagnetic impulse, surely caused by those strange flashes. Today, the authorities finally give us permission to record at Ground Zero, where the good thing that remained of the strange phenomenon is a huge crater. What it attributes to the fact that perhaps a object fell from the sky and caused the strange events. However, we were asked to communicate to the population that the park will sure be closed to the community until the events that occurred 2 days ago are clarified with greater certainty. Miss Zecora, did you do that? Yes, before arriving with you, I made sure the people could not enter, creating a magical field that puts those who don't have their spiritual energy release into a state of dream. It's the same spell Trixie used at school, but amplified, right? That's right. But I had to mix it with a electromagnetic field so that they wouldn't try to enter with those means of transport and infiltrate. However, all this has an endurance limit. We were lucky the battle didn't drag any longer. I didn't imagine you had an apartment in the city. I thought you live in Africa. I don't have a defined place, Pinky. I only rented this apartment to take care of Spike. It would be very painful for his parents to see the state in which their son was left. But moving on to another topic, I know you are still shocked by what happened that day, but we have to analyze the situation experienced. I will have a hard time forgetting what we lived through. I still remember the pain I felt when he attacked me. Yes, it was different from the other battles against monsters. I can admit that it was the first time that I was afraid of losing my life. But above all, I can't forget the moment I thought I had killed him. For a moment, I experienced what it feels like to take a life, especially that of a friend. Now I understand, Miss Zecora, why you told us to be careful with our powers. I didn't imagine that I could have something so dangerous on my hands. I swear that I will never lose control again, much less use that. I don't want to experience death at my hands again. Now that this battle is over for the better, I can say that I am glad that you feel that. Every battle should be considered as an apprenticeship, and what happened with Spike should not be an exception. Now, you know that this being carriers is not a game. Live each battle with responsibility, seriousness, and always support each other. Wait, so I can no longer fight in a crazy and funny way? How boring. Pinky, do what you want. Yes! Ma'am, I think you should take Spike with you and help him control his transformation. You can't be serious, Rainbow. You saw it yourself with his power. He would be a great help against monsters, especially against Discord. No, I will not allow my butter to risk his life again. You didn't have the same precaution when you got us into this of being humans. If you have to say something to say it now. Stop arguing. That doesn't help at all right now. I agree with Rainbow. With his power, Spike would be a great ally against Discord. Miss Zecora, how can you say that? However, for the moment, I agree with you, Twilight. Spike power is very unstable. It would be very risky to try to use it. Besides, I am not the only one to teach him, since I have never heard of berserk dragons. Therefore, I don't have the knowledge to help him control his power. I'll still keep looking for information from past writings. Maybe I can find something to help us. For now, let's keep Spike out of this crusade against Discord and his monsters. Miss Zecora, I remember that in the battle, that guy told you that you were enchanted with magic, an eternal spirit. Can you tell me what it is? When Princess Celestia sent everyone to this world, she needed someone to preserve the legacy of Equestria and care for the jewels of harmony. It was when I volunteered, since I was the only one who survived the evil phenomenon. She implanted a spell on my soul, in which every time I reincarnated, the spirit that had at the time of the spell would regain control of my body and soul. I understand. That's why you remember that Equestria, every time you're born, you recover the memory of the Equestria Zecora. Not only that, I also retain the memories of the life I had after the spell when I lived as a human in this world. Oh, that means you're like an immortal. That's very cool. On the contrary, Rainbow, it must be horrible to be an immortal. Just imagine come back to life and see that the friends you had before are gone. I couldn't live like this. You're right, Fluttershy. I didn't thought about it. I'm sorry. That doesn't matter. Now, what worries me the most is the subject who impersonated me. Yes, Rarity told us that he was a man. He told her that he would not attack us again, but she couldn't tell us what else happened when she confronted him. Surely he implanted a pact spell on her. Pact spell is a spell that allows you to impose a rule on a person in exchange for a treatment from you. It is possible that it is the same spell that Celestia implanted on the current Celestia to prevent her from entering the city. If that's the case, even if I enter Rarity's mind, I won't be able to unravel the memories of that guy's encounter with her. Rarity worries me. She committed just being the oldest of you. You need to pay more attention to it. It's true, Rarity has always been very strong. Even now, despite what that guy did to her, she hasn't stopped taking care of my brother. Spike, I can't stop thinking that it's my fault you're like this. Eternally dawn you to be my guardian. I would give everything to be able to free your soul from the pact you made when you were a dragon. I managed to save you with a kiss. I always try to pretend to be an adult, and yet I still think like a girl in a fairy tale. But I still don't understand, because when I kiss you, during those 2 seconds, my body and my mind felt the same as that time for that boy when I was 10 years old. Why can't I stop remembering that encounter with that guy? I have never felt so invulnerable in my life. Rarity? Spike? Thank God! You awake! Girls, come here! Spike woke up! Spike, how do you feel, brother? Twilight, where am I? Ah! My little friend, we were so worried about you. Anything you need, don't hesitate to ask us. Remember that we will always be your personal Herman. Pinky, don't be silly. Insensitive. I'm just saying it to lift his spirits. Pinky, your chest won't let me breathe. Oops. Hee pardon. Idiot. Don't you see that he's still hurt? Why does my body hurt? I'm sorry, Spike. I did my best to heal you, but all your muscles were open by all the energy you released. It took me a long time to get them back to normal. Tell me what happened. I don't remember anything after seeing Rarity in danger. Really? Don't you remember anything about the battle? I'll explain what happened, Spike. Ah! You are the one who gave me that ruby. Calm down, Spike. We will tell you what happened. Minutes later. Did I hurt them? I'm sorry. I just wanted to help Rarity. Brother? Don't apologize, Spike. We know what you wanted to do, and I thank you for wanting to protect me. But what happened next, it was his fault, and no one but him. Do you understand me? How did she manage to get me back to normal? It's no need to remember. The important thing is that it all ends for the better. Hee. Even if Rarity tells me that what I have done to them, I could see from her faces that they haven't forgotten yet. Spike? Spike, you woke up. What are you doing here? When she found out you were hurt, she insists on coming to see you. What? I'm only here to remind you, servant, of the deal we made at my house. Ugh. I haven't forgotten, okay? And stop calling me a servant. Twilight, why don't you use the clone Lady Zecora made you again, and do you lend it to her for a few days? Spike, we have already made a clone, but from your body. What? You've been in bed for 2 days. We needed to create a copy of you so that Mom and Dad wouldn't suspect your absence. And I'm giving him a proper education. Hee. Twilight, why did you pass my clone to her? Sorry, she told us if we didn't lend her your copy, she would tell our parents. How can you let this girl blackmail you so easily? Calm down. It's just a joke. I haven't asked your clone to do anything humiliating. Plus, I just enjoyed watching the original suffer. Your copy only makes a happy face that I am not satisfied with humiliating him. That's why I'm anxiously waiting for you to recover, so that you will fulfill your promise. I know, don't remind me that. Okay. I'll let you rest, servant. Ugh. Hey, Spike, even though I know you won't believe me, I'm glad you're feeling better. Spike, before letting you rest, tell me what day did you get that ruby? I remember that was when Twilight had the fight with that girl from the amusement park. The one who had a magic show. The day I had a duel with Trixie at school. I understand. Now everything makes sense. What do you mean? Her older sister, Celestia, she always taking care of you two when you're away from home. But that day, for obvious reasons, our attention was focused what was going on with Twilight, as they were all in danger. So we stopped paying attention to Spike. It must have been the moment in which that subject impersonated me and give you the ruby. Wait a minute. Try to say that guy could have planned the fight I had with Trixie? It is very likely that magic duel, she used it as a mean of distraction, and thus be able to get closer to Spike. But in that fight, I could have died. Did he use Trixie and did not care if we both died? He is not a subject we should try to understand, but he is someone who must be very careful. What worries me the most is that he knows about the movements that Celestia and I make. It means that he is also spying on us in the shadows. Darn, if I didn't been so naive, none of this would have happened. Don't blame yourself, Spike. We all fell on his game. That's why, Twilight, what I'm going to tell you now is of the most importance. I know you wanted each other to decide her fate, but the arrival of this new enemy, especially if he is not working alone, forces me to demand that you convince the last carrier to join you. With an enemy of this kind of mystery, the six have to be reunited, and thus their powers will grow enormously. And it is no longer in a suggestion. It is an order that you must comply. Understood? Miss Zecora, it's Applejack who doesn't want to join us. In the meantime, Big Mac, Apple Bloom, I almost lost them. And all because of me, for not wanting to help them. But how could I help them when still, when I'm still scared? I'm really scared. Two days before, somewhere in Europe. Edward? Are you up so late? Did you expect me? That's very nice of you. I was remembering the traitor who conspired against our queen, that woman called Akana. Before I killed her, I heard her say that she wasn't working alone on her plan. All these years, I always believed that she was referring to Princess Luna, but seeing your actions in Ponyville, she makes me think maybe she was referring to you. You better have a good answer, Christopher, especially for what you just did in that city. I'm just tell you one thing. If you really think I'm a traitor, kill me now. But if you still have doubts, it will be better to forget those conflicts in your mind, because now is when we must focus on our main mission. Then explain why you almost killed the carriers, awakening so soon the power of that child. You know very well that we need them. First, I wanted to know the power that Spike had, and about the carriers. They weren't going to die, not while Rarity was present, but the patch of love that he sworn is not broken by the greatest power or the most incarnate fury. You also dared to reveal your identity to that young woman under the rules of sin. She must have died at that moment. You forgot what you said earlier, Edward. We can't kill them. But don't worry, before I left, I made sure that she did not give important information about me or about sin to her companions. However, I did let her tell them a few things to alert Zecora to our existence. And what did you do that for? You know very well the answer, Edward. Applejack? Exactly. Knowing Zecora, I'm sure she will force Twilight to convince Applejack to join him. Since with Luna, and even with Discord, they can afford not to have the full team. because Zecora is aware of her motivations. But an unknown enemy like us needs the six gathered, and once that happens, we win. Our mission begins. You risk a lot with our acting, Chris, and that can harm us all. What's worth having a life if you don't put it at risk from time to time? Also, always have faith that luck will be in our favor. Luna, what a nice visit. Did she finally agree to my offer to join Sin once more? Listen to me very well, Chris. I don't care what order you to do that woman before left, but I will not let you put the jewels of Harmony at risk. If you attack those girls again, I will take care of ending you myself. Remember that I am the only one who knows how to block the defense of the Lust Amulet. Those girls and their powers are mine. And this warning is also directly at you, whoever you are. Don't forget my words, Chris. I'll be watching you. After that, after that warning, Luna retires in the same way as it arrived. Did she notice, Edward? Like I said, always have faith in luck, and she will illuminate us with her radiance. To be continued. To be continued. Stay tuned until next time.